This is week number 2 of the Virtues Museletter. I am your host, Barbara Mackenzie, and I want to say thank you for being here. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button to make sure that you're getting the weekly newsletter updates. Before we get started, I would like to reflect on the last week, looking at courage and summarizing. I found a poem. I did a little bit of artwork, 2 pieces actually, 1 letter art with the word courage and practicing some watercolor, and the other, again, practicing some watercolor, but I saw an image, and the image spoke to me about the inner strength and courage that rises up when we need to carry hard things. This poem that I found is called The Bridge, and it's by Joy Cowley. I am not familiar with any of her work, but I loved this piece, and it spoke to me about carrying hard things and having the courage to help others and what courage actually means in our life. So check out this poem and see what you think. The Bridge. There are times in life when we are called to be bridges, not a great monument spanning a distance and carrying loads of heavy traffic, but a simple bridge to help one person from here to there over some difficulty, such as pain, grief, fear, loneliness. A bridge which opens the way for an ongoing journey. When I become a bridge for another, I bring upon myself a blessing, for I escape from the small prison of self and exist for a wider world, breaking out to be a larger being who can enter another's pain and rejoice in another's triumph. I know only one greater blessing in this life, and that is to allow someone else to be a bridge for me. Wow. Thank you, Joy, for those beautiful words and expressions of what it means to be courageous when it comes to what's really important in life. You know, last week I asked a few questions, and one of them was about my sacred service and how I can, I guess, best prepare, So what I discovered this week about courage and what my journaling has helped me to focus on is that saying no means yes. I am shuffling my deck of 100 Virtues reflection cards to see which angel of virtue will show up for us in week number 2. It's respect. Respect is an attitude of honoring ourselves and others as people of value. We care for each person's dignity. Everyone has the right to expect respect. We show respect in the courtesy of our words and in the tone of our voice. We are all exquisitely sensitive to respect. When we treat others as we would like to be treated, we raise the level of trust and peace in our relationships. Respect is having reverence for the earth and all living things. When we live respectfully, we are a source of grace in the world. My focus is on developing the relationship within myself, me, myself, and I. And since I've spent so many years studying lots of different aspects of healing in lots of different cultures of complementary and alternative medicine. The thing about bridges is that I need one for myself, my soul message, my inner guidance. It's totally like a GPS. So that bridge to myself is key. And having the courage to go in and meet myself on that bridge, to um, escape from the small prison that is my mind. So I'm reflecting on the poem, and she says, "For I escape from the small prison of self and exist for a wider world." And there's the segue. I feel like I have lived for the wider world, and I have done the dance for 50, that's 50 plus years. And here I am at 61 years old, and looking at the virtue of respect. And what does that look for me? How do I respect myself and build a bridge? Meet myself on the bridge. Never mind building it. The bridge is already built. So how do I meet myself on that bridge? How do I uh, turn off the distraction? Live in the world, but not of it. I'm not a big religious person in that regard, so I didn't just quote the Bible because I know it. I quoted the Bible because I respect it, and I respect a lot of people who love it and know it. And that quote has always jumped out at me. So that's not my point. We cannot measure our part in life, but we can hear the call and step up. And that's what I'm here to do. And I'm looking in now. I'm not looking out at the world. I've spent 50 years doing that, helping others. I'm not denying that service to the world, but now is my time to focus and help others to go in and meet ourselves on that bridge. So it's not what we do, it's how we show up. That's the way relationships are, and that's the way it is for myself. So how am I showing up for me? What is my activism? What am I doing with the unfolding in my life? And I'm thrilled to say that I have always listened and educated myself. I've allowed these whims of education through alternative and holistic medicine, through art, with brain science, all that. I've given myself, and technology, given myself the gift of those educative experiences. And here I am, and I'm in this capable place, ready for right now. And this going inside just feels like the right thing to do. This inner guidance has never led me wrong. And in all my journaling and writings, we are repeating the same things. And now in the world, people are doing, and conversations are happening, and the healing field has exploded into the homes and hearts of everyday people, which is just a beautiful thing. I think about courage to have the respect to set boundaries for myself, to say no to others so that spirit and I can do our yes, which part of is this podcast. 40 years ago, I used to talk about having a show, and people used to laugh at me. And I know this isn't a show, but what I'm trying to say is the guidance was there, the inner sense that this was a direction I should be heading. And I've always trusted that when the time is ready, I would be ready. But I have to say that self-care is about respecting myself and doing the inner work to become healthy enough to be a bridge for others or myself. So I kind of feel like right now the public bridge is closed, and I am doing structural work on reinforcing the integrity of the structure. I'm not really sure how to say that, but I feel like the noise of the world has swept me away, and I can't really say how long or why it happened, but there was a moment that I am very clear about, and I'll talk about in another episode, um, where I broke my 30-year media fast, um, being invited to help moderate a Facebook group, which, unbeknownst to me, ended up being the first Facebook group for the camp at Standing Rock. So that's a whole podcast, another story. Speaking of courage of people and respect, my God. Anyway, I have reflected outwardly for 50 plus years, holding esteem for other people, and now that is turning around. So I'm breaking the patterns of not ownership of ourself, like not having respect for myself and my feelings in my heart. So I grew up with the messages that selfish behavior was unacceptable, and anything that related to self-care at that point was thought to be selfish. It's crazy. Self-respect was selfish. But we need to get clear. Helping others does not mean depriving ourselves. So what's my sacred activism? When it comes to respect, what am I being guided to do? And what are the questions that I'm being asked from within? So what does respect of myself look like this week? That's what I'll be journaling on. What will help me honor myself? I think it's easy when I'm in the flow, when I'm recording and talking like this, I feel like I'm in a zone, and it's easy to be there, integrated. But in the everyday life, when I'm cooking and taking out the garbage and cleaning the toilet, I lose touch. So what does it look like for me to maintain the bridge, to have that connection with grace within myself, within me, this connection that I feel when I'm in the flow, this integrated sense of me, myself, and I. Thanks once again for taking time out with me this week for the Virtues Museletter, and I hope you'll tune back in next Monday. Have a wonderful week.